Oh, and that's another issue. It's hard getting that understanding woman.
I can't get one anyway. So I can't.
That's because you spend 2,200 hours a year. If you'd give up even 200 of those hours to looking, you never know.
Yeah, well, this is it now. This is my chance, Donkey. Available, but not very often.
Which is a good thing.
Check the forecast. And look, there's loads of room in this tractor for a bit of dating. Yeah, and like you and me are two small fellas. You'd even fit two big fellas in here, you know.
Two monsters would work in here. Guys, genuinely, it's a plus.
Yeah. Right, Paddy, you can send me on another load now.
It's on its way.
That's the same man I have on the pump, as long as I can remember. And I think, people think the pump man, any man, you know. No, you need a man that when you arrive to a place, he knows his job, you know your job, and when you pick up that and tell him to send the slurry, it comes.
But the first things first, you're in a Claas.
Oh yeah, Claas, 810, C-Matic, love it. Absolutely, love it. Go on, what's wrong with it?
It's a Renault.
No! There's nothing Renault on this tractor.
Ah, come on, Claas is Renault.
No, not in a long time. 9 years.
What makes this not Renault then?
You find something Renault on it.
Are we not sitting on the Renault bit?
What, the springs?
No, but seriously, you bought this tractor a year ago. What'd you say, you had 1,200 hours on it?
2,200 hours on it. In 12 months, yeah.
You've done 2,200 hours in 12 months.
I didn't. I won't have the tractor a year for another week. Yeah, and no issues. No call-outs, nothing. Serviced twice by the dealer in that time. I have a 640 and we have a 7490 Massey. And then we have Philip Heary's come in when we're drawing slurry like this, ferrying and that to us. And he's running a fleet of Classes. I don't know how many's there now, 5 I think. Look, at the Classes in the beginning came, they had a good finance package, they had good everything. But now we're at the stage where we wouldn't be looking at anything else if we're changing. Do you know?
Seriously?
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, you have a big Massey up on the pump. What's she?
7490.
Oh, so she's a fair animal.
Super tractor, yeah.
She the 7490, is that like the Dyna
VT? The Dyna VT, yeah. What's on it now? Just under 14,000 hours on it. What did she get? 2 fan belts in the last 3 years. Absolutely love it. Brilliant tractor. But I can see it going for one of these.
Right. Okay. We haven't done a lot with Claas, as you know.
No.
It's, in fairness, you've done quite a bit of giving out to us about the whole Claas thing, but we'll come back to that. How we met was... I'll let you tell the story.
Yeah. Mark Quinn, best friend, worked with me. We were joined at the hip when we were about 10 years of age, I'd say. And unfortunately, Mark, in the 1st of July 2013, didn't turn up for work. And we were in the middle of second cut silage, and that wouldn't be Mark. And he was the harvester, the chopper driver. And he didn't turn up. And he never turned up again. Unfortunately, Mark took his own life that morning. And I'm not going to go too much into that because, look, people know the story at this stage, but we met, you and me, because we were putting on a tractor run to raise awareness for suicide.
Yes.
And I met you at the Cavan show, and I said to you, Garrett, we have a tractor run coming up. We'd love the GRASSMEN support. And you said, well, I'll try and be there. And you've been there every year since.
Yeah.
Now, and we're having our 6th run this year on the 24th of March. Going to be a super day.
I suppose big thing out of that run is a lot of money being raised for So Sad up until now. I don't know if that's...
Yeah, So Sad. It's Save Our Sons and Daughters, and it's a big charity in this area for suicide prevention, and great for families, you know, to talk for the bereaved families afterwards to go in and they'll put on the kettle and they look after you, and they get no government funding at all. So it's between the local tidy towns and So Sad. The tidy towns give us the village. We do whatever we want. They provide insurance, and we came together and we have a great run. You know, and it does be good crack and goes well, and a massive raffle on the day. And I want to thank all the people who give us raffle prizes because it does be unbelievable. Yeah. But I know that's that. But look, we think of Mark every day, and I'm sure anyone else does that loses somebody in the same way.
Yeah.
You know,
and it's sadly, very sadly, in a broader spectrum, it's a very big problem.
Huge.
Particularly in rural areas, and I think statistically among young men. It's something that we feel very strongly about, that we would, you know, because life's not easy.
No.
You know, and I think everybody goes through their troubles and traumas, and it's being able to speak out or whatever, and we have this stigma. I think there's this stigma attached, Chris, that we feel we can't reach out or speak, and you know what? I'll say, been there a little bit of having a rough time a few years ago, you don't want to talk.
No.
You do try and bury the old things up, and then I think it does maybe slowly get on top of you. But I suppose if we can do anything, encourage people that if they are under pressure to talk.
There's people there, talk. Do you know what I mean? That's all you have to do. Talk, and because I'll tell you, there's no way back out of the grave. There's no reverse. No. You go, you're gone. And I don't think people think about that enough. You know.
As I say, we plan to be here. Hopefully, I'll be in one of our new tractors that we'll be sporting for the year, which I think will go down well with you. We've been teaming up a wee bit with maybe this brand here, and through McCarthy's. It's their 25 years.
I see that.
So we're getting involved with them a little bit this year. So in the back of that, a certain 650 C-Matic. Whatever that means.
C-Matic is just...
Is this C-Matic?
C-Matic, yeah.
That's Vario?
Vario, yeah.
Okay.
And I think it's the simplest Vario. You just put it in forward. I work it on the pedal. I've never ran this tractor manually, so I haven't. When the dealership had it set up on manual. They told me it was the best way to drive the tractor, and I've never, any job I've been doing, or they had it set on the pedal, and I've never went into manual mode.
And what way does their gearbox work? So is there ranges?
There's 3 ranges. If you look here, we have the first range. It won't go any quicker than 20 kilometers an hour. The mid range we have it set at 32. The top range is set at 57. Now I've never got to 57. Only down a hill maybe it'll do about 55. So I went. But and you can change on the move. You wouldn't have to now, but when you come in the gate, have a feel around of that, you want to go into your mid-range, you don't have to stop, you know what I mean? You can just change it up so you can, no issue there.
But it's not really gears, it's just, you're just limiting out where the Vario box ends up.
Well, but tell you what it does, it leaves you that you can't drive another tractor. I have the 640 there. When I come to a crossroads in the 640, I tend to stall it because I just put my foot on the brakes and she tries to go on. Yeah. You know.
So this slurry job, right?
Yeah.
Now, what I know about you is this is your bread and butter. Slurry.
Yeah, slurry. We'd start slurry on the 15th of January, not before it.
Oh, 15th of January, that's because unlike Us Northies. We have to wait to the 15th of February. I think it's 15th of February. But
I'd be, if I had to wait till the 15th of February, I'd be bankrupt.
But it's
Yeah.
it's the slurry ban is 15th of January.
From the 15th of October to the 15th of January, yeah.
And then you're operating. So
We're operating. We'd be out. We'd be piping. We'd be tankering. This year there's a lot of tankering going on as well. You know, we're ferrying here today. We don't do a lot of ferrying because, you know, the ground in general does be good. There's a lot of grass here. And that's why we're doing this and we're dribble barring it. And slurry and dung, yeah, and then silage during the summer. But the slurry brings us right up into the grass. Sometimes it's pressure to get the tractors cleaned down and washed and ready for grass if it comes too early, you know.
What horsepower is this tractor meant to be?
215 or 220. But I don't know whether it's with the transmission or what it is that makes the tractor feel more. It does, like when I went from the 70-50, which I knew was hitting the 300 mark, it was too much really. I was going to this, which was a comeback horsepower wise, and that did worry me a bit. Mm-hmm. That I'd feel it on hills and I'd feel it at different jobs. Actually, it's the quite opposite. The tractor is more capable in most situations and a lot more fuel efficient. So, like, I don't know what the tractor. I never seen it on a dyno or anything like that. I don't know whether it got a little bit more before, you know. But definitely, it's all there. Very lively tractor.
Slurry Cat as a company have been in the go a long time.
Okay.
I know it's changed hands and all, but I'm thinking a way back to when how long have you been running Slurry Cat gear?
Not that long, believe it or not. Our outfit would have been originally Spreadwise.
Oh yes.
Like,
yeah.
you know, Slurry Cat I don't think would have been on the go even back then. Like, I bought that dribble bar 4 years ago, second hand. I gave $6,000 for that dribble bar. Now I'd get that for it any day. And in that time I was lucky. It had the heavy duty springs in it, which a lot of lads had trouble. We've replaced one spring and we've got away with a few pipes. I've probably spent $300-400 on it in that length of time. But we're putting the right slurry through it. That is the thing. There's fellas falling out with Slurry Cat. There's fellas falling out with whatever.
All
you know.
of them, yeah.
And they are putting, it's like putting stones through your forage harvester. They're not designed for it. And when you start putting dung through these yokes, they bust. They're not able for it. You know, there's some slurry you shouldn't be trying to pipe. And that's it. If we were going to a new job in the morning and a farmer told me he was agitating, there's no way I would arrive on that farm with my umbilical system ready to start. I would have to drive there first and see the slurry being mixed. You know, because there's no point laying out your pipes and spending an hour pulling pipes through ditches and everything and discovering you can't pump it.
What about Brexit?
Oh, I don't know. I think it'll be pushed on now in the 28th or the 29th of March. It'll be pushed on, but they can't push it on too much longer. People need certainty in their businesses to know what's happening.
That is an issue now. There's no question about that. But
Yeah.
you know, for yourself and your own business, do you be thinking about it in the background?
Of course I do. Yeah, it's not going to affect Christopher Duffy's business. We'll still be able to pipe slurry. We'll be able to do everything. But if my customers are not making money, then we're in big trouble.
Yeah.
And I've seen that with milk prices when they're on the floor and that, and farmers get under pressure. We do see it. We feel the pain. Only the bare essential amount of work is done. You might have to, wait a while for your payment on that, and you have to put up with that because these are your customers. Without the customers, we don't exist.
Yeah.
The one thing I'd say to contractors is never have all your eggs in the one basket. We had a major contract, so we had, and we had a good lot of machinery purchased on spec of that job.
Yeah.
And the new manager came in. Our work was perfect. New manager came in, and within a week we were gone. Lucky enough, we still had our customers around local and that, but we were over them. Oh, we had too much gear, and we tried to keep paying for it on quarter the amount of work, and it doesn't work, And I'd say that happens to a lot of folks, But look I have a tanker there, and it's drawn to us at the minute. That tanker is 2006, a major tanker. It's on its third set of tyres. But it'd be very hard to replace that tanker.
15-year-old?
Yeah, it'd be very hard to replace that tanker with a new one in the morning and be paying on it to do the exact same job. You know, if something isn't giving you trouble, it doesn't necessarily have to leave the yard. But you need to know your costs as well, Garrett. Like, I know that diesel is 73 cents this morning. I know that diesel was 10 cents a litre less on the 2nd of January. And that's a major problem with contracting, is rates. And you're charging X amount. But why are you charging X amount? Who actually sat down and costed it and say that that's what it should be? And is it that price at what price of diesel or what? You know, we were told by the FCI, I'd been in the FCI, the farm contractors, from day one, and we were told not long ago at a meeting that a tractor, 150 horsepower tractor, without an implement behind it, to leave anything behind it, profit-wise, needs to be running at €50 an hour plus VAT. Now, you know, we're getting 50 including the VAT for them tractors and tankers, and there's lads around here charging a lot less.
And that's, you're always going to have that.
Yeah. But that's another myth I'll say about farmers. Now, in my opinion, my humble opinion, and I am very opinionated.
We know.
Anyone who knows me. I hear all this about the farmers getting daffodil because he's cheap, but the farmers get. I think farmers think more about the service you're providing. Fair enough, if you're, you know, massively expensive compared to somebody else, that's not going to work. But if you're in and around the same and you stick on a €5 an hour, you stick on a €10 an hour here, maybe a few bob per acre, if you're doing the job when they want it done and you're not hassling them, they're not ringing you and you're not answering and you're leaving them without answering phones, they'll stay with you. Them tankers are pulling in up there. They're not even coming near the field. There's no muck on the tyres, no nothing. They're not having to tramp the whole way down to here. They're pulling in, they're reversing, they're emptying the load. And the umbilical is working in and around €100 an hour, whatever like that. Your tankers are on the full rate. And the umbilical is actually coming in cheap because the tankers, if you had them 4 tankers ferrying, and they weren't ferrying, they're actually coming down here spreading, they'd draw a lot less in the day.
Yeah.
You know, like that, they're just pulling in. We done it on the sides of roads where you had rough, bumpy lanes and different things. Pull up, empty the load, gone. And farmers liked it. It didn't work out. In one situation, it was working out, I think, at €35 a load, including the umbilical, on a 4.5 kilometre draw. And once the farmer seen that, he said, "That's nothing wrong with that." So look,